Hey everybody, Steph Mishuk with KillerSites.com. I feel like nailing social media again. So why? Because more news is coming out. So I figured, what the heck? So you look at this Financial Post, investing social media stock collapse conjures up .com bust. Yeah, so let's take a look. So today, Groupon, another darling of the Wall Street machine. So we got Groupon dropping 9% today. Let's see, since it went public, how much have you lost? So since it went public in November 2011, I don't know, 8 months ago, you've lost 73.57% of your money. Yeah, not a very good investment. Of course, the CEO and all the people who took the company public, they've all cashed out with a big wad of cash. That's something that really gets on my nerves. See, in the stock market, there's this whole, in the stock market, there's a scam called the pump and the dump. And what they do typically is they find tiny little companies, penny stocks. Penny stocks are stocks that are worth pennies a share. And anyway, so what they do is they'll put out a bunch of news, false news, and they'll get people hyped up on it, and then they'll pump the stock up. And as the stock values are pumped up, the people who are responsible for the pump and dump scam, they will be dumping this stock to make their profits. And so when I look at Groupon, I look at Facebook, they're down. Let's see, they went public. From going public, they're down 39% from their IPO price of $38. Of course, a lot of people bought it at 45. See the height of 45. So they've lost nearly half their money, about 48%. When I see this type of action, and if you look over my Google Plus account or Facebook, I was warning people a month or so before the IPO, before it even went public. I said, stay away from Facebook. I still think Facebook is worth somewhere below $1 a share. And I think it's going to, I don't have much faith in the whole business model, the whole social networking business model. I talked about that in another video. The one exception, of course, is LinkedIn. It's actually, it's not at its high, but it hasn't collapsed like the other guys. Although I question how much money they're making. Their valuation is frankly absolutely crazy. If you look at it, it's 6 price to earnings, PE, price to earnings ratio, the share price divided by earnings per share. So basically, in a normal market, this is usually 8 to 12 times, right? This is at 644 times. It's absolutely astronomical. Basically, they're saying, wow, right? This is like, it would take 644 years at the current rate to get your money back, which is crazy. Let's compare that to a company that actually makes money, Apple. And if you look at Apple, which is at a huge, the most profitable, famous tech company around today, look at its price to earnings ratio, 13.99, so 14 times. 14 times versus LinkedIn, 644 times. Let's look at Facebook. They're not as bad. They're only 124 times Groupon. See, they don't even have a PE here. I guess because they're officially losing a ton of money. So you get the idea. If we go back to Apple, 13.99 times, 14 times. Now you hopefully are seeing why I think that Facebook is totally ridiculous. I can't see how Facebook is worth that much more on a price to earnings ratio, on the PE ratio here, than Apple. It makes no sense. Why? Because Facebook's technology is not hard to reproduce. Social networks are notoriously fickle. Friendster, MySpace, anybody? Nobody goes to those sites anymore. So this is nuts. This is nuts. people have such short memories. This is so reminiscent of Tanyu. This is so reminiscent of the dot-com bubble boom and bust. And I believe a bust is coming. I know this is not technology strictly. You know, I'm supposed to be here teaching web design, web programming. But I think as professionals in the field, you have to sort of get a feel for what the trends are and where money is. Now, you see a lot of money was dumped into social networks over the last 5-10 years, you know, with the Facebook, Twitter, Groupon, etc., Living Social, Zynga. See, that's another one that's going into the toilets, Zynga. See, they don't even list it, you know, because they're losing money big time. So it's like, you know, they're down again. You know, look at that. Like, some people actually paid $15 a share, $15.91, and now it's going for $3. So, you know, holy crap, poor guys. You know, if you bought at the opening, you've lost 68.32%. And if you're unlucky enough to buy a little later, say you bought it in February, just past February, you've lost 77.39% of your money. All these things are, you know, to me, they're pump and dump scams. I'm not saying they are technically, but I think there's a lot of, you know, I don't trust it. So these companies are not something you can bank on. Don't invest in them. Don't invest in the market at all. It's a rigged game. That's pretty clear. But generally speaking, as software developers, web designers, and so on, don't count on the social networking trend to be something that's going to carry on for much longer. It reminds me again of something that was all the rage 10, 15 years ago, and that was the directories. Directories were everywhere, and everybody was writing directory scripts, and everybody had directories. The biggest one, of course, was Yahoo. Who uses a directory these days? This is like, you know, dead skis. And I think social networks are going to fall into that niche again. As I said in a previous video, social networks are going to be something included within the context of a truly viable business, something like a Google Plus, which I'm a fan of. Well, fan of is an exaggeration. I'm not a big fan of social networks. I don't think it's wise to put all your personal information out there for everybody to see. So that's it. So I just wanted to harp again on these social media companies, social media in general as a business model. I think it's flawed in the way it's being executed these days. As a software developer, I wouldn't get too excited about social media sites. If you can get a gig working on them and they're going to pay you well, fine, that's great. But don't, you know how I feel. So that's it. Another vlog by Steph. Yeah, whatever. I saw this article and I saw the Groupon action today, and I felt compelled to vlog about it. That's it. Ciao.